We are at TEDx Changing the Way We Eat, and I am here with Megan Miller of Biddy. Tell me what Biddy is, because it might come as a surprise to some people.
Well, Biddy Foods is a company that makes baked goods from cricket flour.
And why should we all be eating insects?
Insects are the most sustainable form of protein on planet Earth. And we are facing a food crisis. By the year 2050, there's going to be an extra 2 billion people on the planet, and there's not going to be enough protein in our current agricultural production to be able to feed all of these people. So people like me who are interested in entomophagy, which means eating insects, are trying to get everyone to understand the value of eating insects now so that we can prepare for a future when there's less meat available for everyone.
How do you get people away from the ick factor of insects?
Well, the thing that I think is most interesting about this is that this is an opportunity to rebrand bugs. Because, of course, we think of bugs as being sort of creepy, crawly, and disgusting. They're a cultural taboo for most Westerners. But that's not the case all over the world. When you go to many other parts of the world, Southeast Asia, Latin America, Africa, people eat bugs the way we eat crabs or shrimp or lobster. We already eat really creepy looking things. So this is just a matter of changing people's perception. And to do that, I think that we need to start with the most very basic and simple form, which is to transform insects from a creepy looking thing into like a nice nutty tasting flour that we can use as an ingredient in more familiar foods.
And so, yeah, let's talk about the taste of it. You know, you add it to a flour, fine, you're getting more protein, it's healthier. Well, how does it affect the baked good or whatever you're putting that flour in?
So cricket flour is about 70% protein, and besides that it has fiber and it has healthy fats and it has vitamins and minerals. It includes the whole insect, so we're not taking anything out. It's whole insects that are roasted and milled into a smooth powder. And then I actually choose not to mix them with wheat. I bake them into grain-free products because there are a lot of people who have gluten sensitivities or who are interested in lower carb foods. They're high protein, and they turn foods that would have been normally just high carb sweet treats into an actual meal.
Does it taste any different? I mean, will people notice that there's insect in their cupcake?
It doesn't, you wouldn't notice that there's insect in your cupcake. It tastes sort of nutty and earthy. It doesn't taste the same as wheat flour. I liken it more to, it's sort of like hazelnuts. So if you're used to eating things that have like nut meal in them, like some of the gluten-free flours or like almond flour, it's more in that category.
And is there, you know, can you put a powder in your shake? Can you put it in places where you're like, all right, I should be eating this, this is good for my protein, but I don't want to know it's in there?
You know, it doesn't really mix very well into shakes because it's not a soluble powder, but it works great in any kind of baked good. So what I'm doing at Biddy Foods is developing a line of baking mixes that will help people to incorporate it into their foods without having to think about it.
And do you think the conversation is moving forward on insects? You know, because there's been sort of a chef embrace of insects on some level. You know, Noma was, you know, had ants on the plates and people were kind of interested in that. But do you think it can become something that's commonplace in the American diet?
I really do. I mean, there seems to be a whole lot of interest around this. I thought it was going to take a lot longer for people to think that I'm not crazy. Yeah, exactly. But it's actually happening really fast. And it was obviously accelerated by the UN, who put out this amazing research report saying that insects could be the key to our global food stability. I mean, that was major. But on top of that, I mean, people just seem super interested in this topic, and they're more interested than ever before in trying new foods. So foodies are on board, adventurous eaters are on board, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time.
If people want to learn more about Biddy, where can they go?
They can go to biddyfoods.com, and we will be selling products online in a couple of months.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for giving us a preview about Biddy Foods, and appreciate your time.
Thank you.